So Microsoft's original Surface Book was released near the end of 2015 and was well received, a premium 2-in-1 with decent specs for the time. But now we get the sequel, with noteworthy upgrades across the board. This is Microsoft's Surface Book 2. So just like the other Surface devices, the build quality is at the top of the market. So you get a smooth magnesium housing that's soft to the touch. And there's two models, you can get 13.5 inch or the 15 inch. The one we have here is the 13.5 inch. And this has an Intel Core i7-8650U, which is passively cooled, so you won't hear any fan noise coming from the tablet. The base of the unit also has a discrete GTX 1050 inside. Now that does have a fan, but you won't really hear it unless you're under quite heavy load. If you do go with the 15-inch model, however, you get a GTX 1060 in the base, which is quite a beefy GPU for this form factor. The screen on this model is Microsoft's famous Pixel Sense display, sitting at 267 ppi in the 3:2 aspect ratio, which is a little more square compared to the 1080p 16:9 aspect ratio. And that's because this device is set up for productivity, and this screen offers a taller view for browsing web pages and working on documents. Now, of course, the trick with this device is that you can press this button here and the screen detaches. You can flip the screen around for watching movies or playing games, or just use it detached as a tablet, because all the power is actually in the screen itself. The only thing you're missing out on is that GTX 1050, and the base also holds another battery for extending the battery life while docked. Because the screen holds most of the weight, the unit is a little top heavy when in your lap. And this also causes a little bit of screen wobble when using the Surface Pen. But again, the beauty of this device is you can use it in multiple orientations, so those are very minor complaints. So a quick look at the I/O, you get volume, power and a headphone jack. And then moving to the base, we get the magnetic Surface connector, which is awesome in case you ever trip on the cable while charging. And we finally get USB-C on a Surface device, although there is no Thunderbolt 3 support. But you can still charge this unit through that port as well. Then on the left-hand side, we have two USB-A ports and a full-size SD card slot, which is awesome for anyone who takes photos and videos, because this thing is actually powerful enough to do some pretty intense photo and video editing. Something else that helps with this is the screen has an improved contrast ratio, and is also brighter than the previous gen, with 99% sRGB color representation and 80% Adobe RGB. So Microsoft have done a good job making an already great looking screen even better. It's still a touchscreen as well, although this time around there's no Surface Pen in the box. And while that was a little disappointing at first, I guess not everyone uses the Surface Pen. So now that extra cost only falls on those who deem this a necessary peripheral. Both the trackpad and keyboard are excellent. The keys have nice travel while staying tactile, and the soft coating on the keys makes it a quality device to type on. And that trackpad, although smaller than something you'd find on a MacBook, is spacious and very responsive. The battery this time around is really good when it's plugged into the base. This will vary on your use case, but you should easily be getting 8 hours, and maybe even pushing that to 10 or above depending on your screen brightness. Where that battery does take a hit though is when you're using the discrete GPU for gaming. The GTX 1050 is powerful enough to run some pretty recent titles at 1080p, and then there's also support for Microsoft's Xbox controller built in too. If you're wanting to play games in the Surface Book's native resolution, however, you might want to stick to some of the older titles like Modern Warfare 2 or CSGO. The speakers have been improved and are much louder this time around. And the webcam is also pretty decent, 5 megapixel on the front and another 8 megapixel on the back, both capable of 1080p video. So overall, yes, this unit is very nice. It's designed to be the laptop that does it all. Watch movies in tablet mode, do work and productivity tasks in laptop mode, and even some mid-range gaming. It's beautiful hardware, but very expensive, especially because upgrading the specs after you buy the unit is basically a no-go, even for the SSD. If you're looking at getting a Surface Book 2, I'd recommend steering clear of the base model, but any of the other configurations you should be happy with. It's a huge upgrade over the first generation. It has an amazing screen, a massive battery, and the ability to be used in the orientation that fits your current task. I'm Eli from BB Tech. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.